Hello everybody, this video here is going to discuss going over how to make sure you set up the correct payment options for your different customers. So I'm going to go over different options and examples. So for the first one here, what if you want a customer to be cash and cash only? In other words, you will not accept a check, you'll never let them sign for it. Well, that's going to be, first thing you want to do is set up the default method right here. Okay, cash. Then you got the payment methods that are going to be in the drop-down list for the driver. Cash right here. Okay, so that right there would be just the cash method. Okay, so now let's say, you know what, they're mostly cash, but sometimes they might write me a check. Okay, so now it's going to be default cash, but the driver will have the option doing cash or a check. Okay, so what if they're going to be check and always writing a check on delivery? This is on delivery. Okay, well now it's going to be check and check only. Okay, what about a scenario where they write a check almost all the time, but they might give them a check or cash every once in a while? Well, default method is still check, but the driver could change it to cash. Okay, so now let's discuss what happens if a customer is set up for cash, but the customer could give us a check or cash, but every once in a while they might sign for it. Okay, they might sign for the delivery. Well, then you got to give the driver the terms option. These are all in the drop-down options for the driver. But if you assign them a terms option, you have to give them a term method. So a term payment option. So let's just say term 7 days. Okay, so what is this one telling me right here? This is the driver. You as a customer, the ice company, you're expecting them to pay on delivery. Okay, but the driver can accept cash, check, or terms where they would end up signing for it that day because they don't have any money. The same thing goes for the credit card option. Now, the credit card option is something separate that I'm going to discuss when I'm done. Okay, so now what about the option the customer is going to sign for it? Okay, they're going to sign for it no matter what every single time. Well, then their default method would be terms. Okay, meaning in this situation, got to set a term method. In this scenario here, they're defaulting to terms. They're always going to sign for it no matter what. And the term method that you're setting up is 30 days or whatever term method that you set up. Okay, so that's what this is telling the driver right here. Okay, finally, now what about credit cards? Credit cards are a little bit different. Credit cards Cool Running has a module for accepting credit card payments through our BlueSnap payment systems. Okay, so if you have the module set up and you do set them up for credit card, okay, you do give that credit card option, then you'll be able to go and accept credit card and accept the credit card method. Now, some companies will go ahead and accept the credit card, okay, and finish the sale, but then do a credit card through an outside payment method like a Square or something. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to show you how each one of these will be reacted on the handheld. So hold on a moment, please. Okay, so I brought up the handheld here so I can show you an example of how this might work. So the first one right here, you can see right here, the default is terms, and it's for term 7 days. So I'm going to save that here. Now you can see right here in the handheld, let me do a refresh right here. They are set up for terms. You can see right there, there's the default. So if I was to hit make delivery, add products, I'll just do one of those, add, confirm. Sorry about that, I got to do a synchronize. 1 second. Okay, so you can see right here on this situation right here, it's set for terms. The default is terms. You can see right there, the term 7 days came up. But there's no other options for the driver to choose from. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to cash and check. And I'm going to save this. And let's see what the options are now. Okay, so here we are, the same scenario. And still, the default is terms. Term 7 days comes up. But the driver's been given the option for cash or check. I can see right here in the drop-down, cash or check has been given the options that he can go ahead and enter check number, or he can change this to cash. So now let me change this over to cash, no payment options. And if there's no term option, then if I try and save this right now, it's going to come up with an error because I've listed a term option. I don't want a term option. So now what we're saying here is cash and check are the only things that are allowed. So let me refresh this and show you what this is going to look like now. Okay, so we're looking here right now. You can see right here the default is cash. You can see where it came up as cash, but the driver's payment options is cash and check. See if I hit the drop down, it's cash and check. Okay, so finally, one more, of course, is what about the if it's cash only? Well, if it's cash only, and we save this, now the only option the driver has is cash, and you're going to see right here. If I go back on this here and do just a quick refresh in this, I'm just going to start over. See right there, cash is the only option. Okay, so that is setting up the payment options over here. Just remember that when you're doing this, the one thing that you want to do is focus on this first, the default payment option. What is the default payment option? If you set terms, make sure you set a term option. Finally, up here is what options are you going to give the driver. This is going to be his drop-down list options to be able to change to. But honestly, the most important thing that you want to focus on is what do you want, what are you expecting from that location on the delivery. Okay, if you're expecting them to pay COD, this would be my option. Okay, so if anybody has any questions on that, feel free to let us know. Thank you.